That looks like my car. Tom's in my car. There we go. So the first thing we want to always take a look at, well, thank you for being here, by the way. Now, some of you are still on your way here, which is awesome, is to really focus on what your goals are and what it takes to actually hit those goals. So Adam, I think you have a goal of 24 units. You're probably looking at like 13 to 14 mil, something like that, depending on price point. We're going to keep track of where we are every 2 weeks, since we're going to be meeting twice a month to see where we're at with our goal, and then kind of what activities do we need to take, or what do we need to do together to be able to accomplish and hit that goal. So you, for example, 24 units is 2 a month. Where do you look right now?
I don't have any new business, so I have 2 escrows that carried over from last year, but I'm not counting that as part of our 24 or part of my 24 goal. So I've got to, I'm doing a lot of lead follow-up. I sent out all my CMAs to my SOI. So following up to see what seller leads I can get out of that, or what referrals I can get. And then I'm doing open houses from today to Sunday. So just getting out there and getting available.
Gotcha. So usually we have like one of 3 challenges or opportunities. One of them is we're not getting enough leads. The second one is we're having a hard time conversion. And the third one is we have a lot of leads and great conversion. We don't have enough leverage to be able to handle the business that we're bringing in, and we need to leverage some of that out. Which one is your biggest opportunity?
I guess the leads, not had enough leads. I got a late start this year because I was, I had COVID. So I feel like this is my first week back.
Gotcha. Okay, so you'll close 2 this month for sure. And then the whole purpose of filling the pipeline right now to get 2 next month, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. Mr. Kim, I got you down as 25 closed units at 20 million at about $500,000 in GCI, correct? You're on mute.
Yeah, we got my car real quick. You know what? I've got stuff I got to get back to a meeting right here. Sorry, man.
Yeah, that's the goal. I'm shooting for something a little bit more, just, for my personal sake, but that is what I'm striving for.
Okay. How does it's the, what is it? The 17th? It's the 19th. So we're halfway through month 1 of getting, like 2 units closed. How are you looking on closing 2 units for January?
Well, I got a couple commercial lease deals that's in the works, so I know one will be secured by the end of the month, but I'm gonna have to catch up in February, and there's a couple good leads that I'm following up on. We're going into a higher price point market. We're trying to raise our average price to closer to 2 million. I'm lead generating every day, so that's definitely helping. Making a bunch of cold calls, SOI calls. I feel confident.
Awesome. Okay, great. And when it comes down to the 3 biggest opportunities most realtors have, leads, conversion, and leverage, which one do you think is your biggest opportunity right now?
Right now, the leads is what I'm focused on. I need to pack my pipeline with a lot of good leads, and each day, cold call and getting on the phone, making 30 contacts. That's definitely helping. So it's a lead issue right now. I'm sure that going down will become a conversion challenge, and then after that it'll be good worries.
Yeah, leverage challenge. Gotcha. What about you, Remo? How you doing? Your goal? Actually, I don't have your goal here.
He's 1.5 million.
1.5 billion. I know.
Man, Rob, you look so lonesome in that big room all by yourself.
I am. I'm Ronry.
Oh,
Very,
I'll
very
be
Ronry.
there in 2 minutes.
Okay, cool. Remo, your camera's a little fuzzy there. Do you have your goal for us?
Yeah, I'm working on the camera. I do. I didn't get a chance to send it, but I have it. It's 90 units, 60 million, and 1.5. And how are we trending towards that? We ended December really strong, and so which is good and bad. There we go. Because that means we're definitely behind the eight ball. We January has been tough. Half the team got COVID. We had some personal stuff happen at our home, and so January is just a total scratch. We did get 2 closings that have already happened. We had got a new listing, but for us to be on pace, we're definitely behind the eight ball, and so we're right now. It is completely a lead concern. And you know, I don't want to be the kind of bearer of bad news here, or not necessarily bear. I was doing these annual kind of reviews on cities and just really going in and looking at what is sold, what's happening in the Southeast LA County. And can you hear me, by the way? I actually, my mic,
Yeah, we can hear you good.
And so I did Whittier, La Habra, La Mirada, and a few other cities. And I can't believe how much values have gone up. Like, I am blown away that now the entry price, the cheapest house in Whittier is in the mid-7s. And we're talking a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. And so, you know, we've overstimulated, and this is obviously not, I don't want to get there. I'll get to my point at the end, but we put so much money in the economy now. Everyone had money, things went up, and now it's to a point where affordability is kind of getting out there. So, you know, my messaging is going to be consistent, just sellers, you know, unless you have a buyer that's, you know, that's at a higher price point. You know, some of the buyers that we are working with, most of them last year that were in the market to buy are completely priced out. Like, not even maybe if they get a raise type stuff, they're like shot. So it's almost like a complete scratch for the buyers. And what I've been really pushing our team is, if you don't have someone that says, I have, you know, 50,000 in the bank, I make $150,000, I'm open to a condo, this is not the market for you. And identifying that so we can walk away from that sooner than spinning our wheels and realizing that, you know, that this market is going to be a challenging one. So really the focus is, how do I attract more sellers? And so to answer your initial question about, you know, what problem we have, it's definitely a seller lead problem right now. And I went back to look at a lot of people, like a lot of top producing agents, Angel and Patty, and how much inventory they have. And it's slim picking all the way across. So we just have to, you know, really lock in on seller business, because the buyers are going to be there. You're going to be competing with, you know, 20, 30 offers. If it was bad last year, you know, I think City of Whittier, again, last thing I'll share, but City of Whittier had a total of, I think, 1,700 homes. Here, I'll tell you really quick. 1,700 homes sold last year in Whittier, and average about 150 every month. There's 49 for sale at all price points, all types of properties, units, apartments, land.
Real quick, please.
So if I can implore everybody, is we have to go after sellers. The buyer business is going to be really, like, it's going to be tough. You're not going to hit your goal if you're going after buyer business, mostly buyer business.
And I totally see that too. I mean, we're down as a market center 24% in listings taken in 2021.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So we're Gary Keller said something that was very interesting. He said, you got to be careful that you're not losing so slowly you feel that you're winning. So for example, like, we made decent income in 2019. You made decent income in 2020. That looked good. 2021 rolls around. You did less units and less sales, but still made maybe the same amount of income. because the price points actually went up. Even though commissions went down a little bit, price points went up. So you're still getting by. The problem is like you might have actually had a better year in 2021 than 2020 with less units and more GCI. Like how long will that possibly last? Because your unit count keeps going down. So something's going to have to give where you feel like you're winning, but you're actually losing slowly because you're losing units and units and units. And sooner or later, you know, you're 2 or 3 units away from like not making a mortgage payment, you know? So the focus should be on getting listings. And I've been thinking a lot about this. And, you know, the stat that came out was Keller Williams has a 1 sale for every 4.67 transactions in the United States. So we're getting about 20% of the market share. So why is it that we have, you know, say, for example, December, we took, I think the number is 13. We took 13 listings in December. Why don't we have 13 buyers for those 13 listings? Why are we selling our listings to other brokerages? So what I'd like to do moving forward is I'm going to coordinate with the Long Beach office, with Cerritos, the other Long Beach office, Downey, Whittier. And I'd like to get a hold of these team leaders and see if we can come up with a way where I could pull all of the data every day for an MLS search on all the different MLS IDs each office has, set myself up as a customer, and I will get an email every day with the new listings that Keller Williams came out with, and then advertise those listings daily as they come in to our agents to say, hey, look, Keller Williams locally just took a listing. Do you have a buyer for that? And see if collectively we could come together as Keller Williams and say, hey, look, we're not going to give you a deal, but we'll give you the best opportunity to be able to get your buyer accepted in our Keller Williams listing, and see if we could bring that number of double N's as a brokerage higher to give us a better opportunity in this shifting market. Because like you said, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, a lot of the people that are thinking of buy, like I couldn't buy my house right now if I was to buy it again. And I only moved in 3 years ago. So that's kind of crazy that it went up, 20, went up 25%.
Yeah.
Like 250 G's just in like 3 years. So my house would sell over $1 million now. I bought it for 750 and I thought that was high at the time. So like that's going to price a lot of our people out. So the people that you do have that are motivated, have money, they're ready to put that down. We should be buying Keller Williams listings, and actually getting our buyers. What are your thoughts around making that work?
I think it needs to happen before it hits the market. Waiting until it goes to the market, you're then still competing. I mean, at the end of the day, the seller is going to make the decision. And if you have an offer that's just higher and better than the Keller offer, then you're going to lose. So I think if there's a way of, and I don't know what this all looks like, but when a listing is actually taken and before it hits the market, that it's kind of off market until it becomes official. That's really the opportunity that we can leverage. Because, so sometimes even in our buyers, where we have a in-house listing where we think it's for the right buyer, the buyer sees that it's, they don't think it's that good of a deal. But when there's 20 offers on it, then the urgency happens, and then they just say, okay, let's offer X over, and they still don't get it. So I think it needs to happen before it hits the market. Once it hits the market, you're going to be competing with so many more people. The results probably not, your probability of getting the offer accepted is going to go down substantially.
We could use these team meetings and these ALC meetings to at least network with each other in La Mirada and amongst other ALC. We're going to be meeting twice a week or twice a month. That could be something we could use to our advantage.
Yeah. And maybe it starts there. It's obviously it's hard to gather the 3 offices together, but not as hard to gather the ALC. And if, most of the production happens from the ALC, I think the ALC, if they share their listings before, and we have a list of, and it really brings us together. Because now if I know John at Cerritos has a listing, now I'm more engaged with them and we can actually start doing some business together. So I think a internal ALC, inventory of what they have just listed in a sense, but not necessarily on the market.
Gotcha. Okay. And then from there, I'll work with some other team leaders and maybe just connecting the ALCs on a higher level at 3 or 4 different market centers to go ahead and network together as well. Maybe get one shared Google spreadsheet or something that all the ALC members could hop on that shared with them about sharing eternally. And that's maybe one of the benefits of being on the ALC is obviously getting the inside scoop on a lot of the off-market listings out there to get your team and your buyers offers accepted. Okay, so I'm going to I'll put something together in the next week with those other team leaders. I'll start today and see if I can get a Zoom call with all of them and see if we could coordinate that. But that would be, I think, a big push in the right direction.
I'm raising my hand.
I didn't see that, but hop on in anytime, sir.
No one's ever going to update that Google sheet. So I'm going to tell you right now, no one's going to update it. We've been talking about this for over a year. I currently right now have myself on a drip for every single Keller Williams in the area. Whenever a new listing pops up, I get an email. I think if you're going to do anything collaborating with the other ALCs, almost may possibly just start like a little Facebook thing where like we have with Firestone, which would be Keller Williams ALC, where we just post, hey, are coming soon. Because it's easier for us to just go in there and post a picture of a new listing that we just signed versus going in and dropping all the information onto a Google sheet and trying to update it and people keeping it updated. I think it would just be easier for us just to have our own little network that we could be dropping new listings or new signed contracts.
That's a great idea.
Remo? Yeah, I dig it. I think it's and you get more engaged in that way because someone might log in, look at a spreadsheet, and we're on Facebook. You could ask a question. You could see who's doing what, and there's energy there. Or a spreadsheet, it's kind of dry. So I agree with that.
Hey, Rick, you had a
Yes,
great
sir.
idea. You had a great idea, sir. Appreciate you, man. That's awesome. So, hey, I hope you feel better too. I know you're at home recovering. So if something comes up and there's something that we could take care of for you while you're out, the ALC is in it, man. So just let us know. Adam's Remo's really available to show as many properties as you need your buyers to show. So just let him know.
You got Remo already called me.
Awesome. Okay. We were going through some of the numbers real quick. We got Remo. Rick, while I got you on the phone, your number's 37, $24,600,000 in GCI. We're more than halfway through January. Are you on track to close 3 this month?
Closing 2, possibly 3. One of them is a commercial lease. I'm not clear on our terms yet, so it might not close, but definitely have 2 in escrow. Picking up another listing on next Wednesday, I think she said she's going to sign. So originally it was 24. I was trying to just stay, I guess, realistic, but I said, fuck it, might as well push myself to another, to that next level.
Okay,
And-
good. So January is usually the first quarter is usually a little slower, and then you kind of pick up during spring and summer, natural progression. So, 2 is still a great goal as completion. Yeah.
And to what Remo said earlier, I just, we need to I'm signing Gloria to start doing all the buyers so that I no longer touch a buyer, just focus on all the listings.
Gotcha. So your biggest opportunity, you think, is still leads, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Remo, I know you went through some of the numbers. Were you, I know you closed a lot in December, but were you on pace to close 8 or 7 for January?
No, we're only closing 2.
2? Gotcha. Okay, Richard, goals for the year?
GCI,
Yeah, all of it. GCI volume units.
192, 16 units. And volume, I don't really keep track of volume. I just want the GCI.
Gotcha. So 16 units. So you're looking at, 1.5. Are you on track for 1.5? so far?
I have $1 million right now in escrow. So it should go next week.
Okay. So you're,
Sounds like some December, open escrow last week, 14-day escrow.
14-day escrow, nice.
All cash.
So Elizabeth, you're at 28 units, 20 million in volume and $400,000 in GCI. So
Who
we're,
said that? Did I say that? That must have been Rick.
No, Rick made you step it up.
oh,
Yeah,
Rick made you
did.
step it up.
Rick talked for me.
Gotcha. So how we looking? We're halfway through January. What does that look like for you?
Not good, not 400, maybe, gosh, I was gonna say 150. Where did 400?
No, that was because we ran her numbers that she's been doing without even trying. And so this is very doable for her if she actually does it.
Let's humble ourselves a little. Let me go down to 200.
So you were looking at maybe 2, like if your goal was 2 for January, how we looking
Yeah,
for
I'm
2?
closing actually one's recording today and another one by the end of the month.
Okay, so you're actually on pace for that stretch goal, even though you think it's
Am I?
ridiculous. Yeah.
But I.
Now we just
my
gotta build-
listing canceled, so that was a bummer. But I'm gonna go after.
And now we're just building the pipeline for next month. Okay, cool. What about you, Tom? Tom, are you around? Yours is 24 units, 14 mil, $324,000 in CI. How we looking for January?
You're on mute. We don't read lips. I can hear this.
I know, it's like-
Louder. You're muted.
I like it muted.
Unmute. How's that?
Go ahead.
So no, I'm behind the 8 ball right now. I have no closings for January. I have quite a few sellers in my pipeline, working those. I just worked a trade show this last weekend and 2 good possibilities on sellers, 3 potential buyers. And that was just based on initial conversations without even going deeper, which I worked on follow-up on that yesterday. So yeah, kind of a similar story with Remo as far as just working on getting more leads and trying to be more listing centric. I have a number of buyers, they're pre-qualified, and I would like to leverage that as much as possible so I could stay focused on the listings. Because I definitely traditionally have always been heavier on the listing side than the buy side. So I want to stay with that track and also increase it even further. So usually I'm about a 75% listing to 25% buyer as far as my matrix. And I'd like to even increase that further and go more like 85-15, buyer seller split.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was going to try to share my screen here, but it's a new computer and I haven't got it dialed in yet. So multi-trend report for the year. We ended up with, for the market center, we ended up with a total agent count of 134. So we netted, or we grossed 73 agents last year, and we ended up with a net of 9. So we had quite a bit of transition throughout the year. So our goal, obviously, this year again is to bring in another 72 net. So we're gonna have to bring in like about 140 or so to 120 to 140 to get 72 net. Our goal for the year is 600 units, and last year we ended with 569. So we're actually down 10% in units from the previous year. So we're looking to obviously build units up, and our listings have been down 25%, which is quite a bit. But we've still been maintaining profitability just due to the fact that the GCI has been up. So the agents are making more money by selling less units. So that is a little concerning on a market center side, just like it's concerning on your side that you might just be getting by. And now that the market might actually be getting tougher, we really need to double down on the lead generation to get us the goals. It's kind of like if we all took bold, and there was a drought. I think they talked about this bird, and there was a drought, and then one bird comes back and he's all fat and happy, and they're like, oh man, where did you find food? And he's like, I don't know. The story went, it's out there, but you sure had to dig for it. So they had to really dig deep and do twice as much work. And we talk about that in the shift. So do you guys think that we should be focusing on teaching the shift for, in the next, 6 weeks to get the agents prepared for the type of market that we're rolling into?
I think we should focus on something more lead generation based, like a mini bold or something to get everyone lead generating.
Yeah, so they did have a bold that starts like at the end of January, but it was only a couple of weeks. I didn't have enough time to be able to get the buy-in for bold to have enough people to sign up to actually get it started. So we're not doing bold until like March, but we can do something earlier. If the ALC leads it and you guys participate, I could probably get a lot of other agents to participate as well. So for example, like doing lead generation together, like doing a call day or a call night, or really dial in our schedule, for the morning lead generation, scripts and role play, stuff like that. If we can get a buy-in from the ALC, I could probably buy in everybody else as well.
What if we did something to get everyone started? Like, the business is going to come from that face-to-face and SOI. So what if we did like one class a week? We teach an open house class one week, the next week SOI, next week technology, database, something, just something about Popeyes. I think just pushing people to get face-to-face is going to be the key to driving that business coming forward for the next couple months.
Okay, so if I wrote down a list of,
Already taken care of.
What was that?
Aren't all those classes, what happened to that calendar with all the classes and all that stuff? I thought that was already settled on what was being taught.
we have the national stuff that's going to be taught. The hyper local stuff is actually going to be coming from you guys on what classes you'll be teaching. So I could put together a list of these classes once a week, and then, you guys could volunteer to start plugging into those. Would that be easier than, usually it's easier for me to say, hey, here's the classes, who's teaching them, and then you guys volunteer to teach or facilitate certain classes, than it is for me to say, hey, you pick a class to teach.
Yeah, no, you should pick the day, pick the class, and then we just sign up as who's going to teach it. Because I'm pretty sure every single person in this ALC can teach any one of those classes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Rob, from me, I'll put this commitment because I definitely want to be more involved and obviously bring the team, and that's going to help my personal business. So you have my commitment. If you want me to teach a class every single week, whatever topic, and we'll pick a setting time, and I'll do that because I want our agents to also come into the office. And obviously, half of them have COVID, so I want to be as cautious as possible, and I know many of us here have, but I also want them to be re-engaged. And these future things that we're going to do, like looking at what has happened in January with this data, it scares the hell out of me, where action needs to happen like now. It's not one of these things that let's talk about it, have another meeting, and like we need to, while we're on the Zoom call, lay out the next like 30 days, because it's, in my opinion, it's that like dire that we need to take action right away and not let another meeting go by where we're not really doing something that's going to bring people in or help people's business immediately. And I'm all for the Popeyes, and we do them ourselves. However, I just think that's a slower moving. You're going to, in my opinion, over the next 12 months, if the business stays where inventory is this little, people are going to get out of the business because there's just not enough transactions to go around.
Gotcha. So let's
on lead gen stuff like door knocking, cold calling, open houses, if you can get them.
It's exactly that. It's every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from whatever 10 to 12, there's a group that's going to be going out door knocking. Right. And then same with maybe it's cold calling, and you call whoever the hell you want. Just come and or maybe we put a theme around it where it's you're calling Sphere and we're talking about, well, happy the new year, whatever it might be. We could have a different topic and just have conversations, because us being an established like team, if we're hurting, I know others that are don't have the database that we have are also going to be hurting and eventually start looking somewhere else.
Gotcha. So the goal for the average agent and you guys as well is to, and something that Richard and I and Tom have been pushing is like, we got to win the morning and win the schedule. So we have scheduled, and AJ, obviously AJ from your team has been on scripts and role play every single day, really contributing and learning. So we appreciate that. And then from there, it's like 10 o'clock hits, 10 to 12, like should be solid lead gen. And then they take a break and then boom, actually do some more lead gen. So what I would really like to do is have an entire office focused around being productivity driven, where it's like, when you come into the office, everybody is working. So from 10 to 12, we might be making cold calls, making 20, 30 contacts to your SOI or circle prospecting, and then taking a quick break, having lunch, and then boom, a whole group of people goes out and hits doors and hits 50 doors a day, 20, 30 contacts, 50 doors a day, doing open houses on the weekend. It's a very simple solution, actually getting a lot of contacts in business right away. But the other agents are not doing this. And I'm looking at the numbers across the board for a lot of different companies, and their numbers are down. The agents are making less and less and less because they're not actually doing the work. They're actually chilling at home, working one or two deals here and there. So those deals will be taken by people that hustle. So if you guys will commit to like doing those type of activities with everybody, that'll actually drive your business, your team's business, and the market center's business. And I'm right there with you. I'll make the cold calls as well. Like I'll go door knocking. So, I mean, that me doing those activities as well as a real estate agent would, obviously encourage some others to do it. And I could actually promote that for recruiting as well to drive more agents to the market center. So if you're all in for that, I'm all in as well. Sweet. Okay. So let's, if you don't mind, Rima, I'd like to call you maybe later today. I have an appointment at 2 and some other things, but later this afternoon, and Adam, and let's put this together. Whoever wants to like participate in that, we'll just get on a quick call or we'll meet real quick and let's dial this in and get this started for next week. Yeah, Richard?
I would begin for the door knocking. I'm more of a face-to-face person, I think, than calling.
Yeah, which is cool. So like,
People hanging up on you?
okay, cool. So we're going to put this into action today and we're going to actually get this started January, or not January, but Monday. That gives us 2 days to put it all together, advertise in the market center, and let's get it going.
Yeah, and I've already got it blocked in my calendar. I'm doing a 10 to 12, lead gen. I'm doing it every day, pretty consistently. I mean, today, obviously, I'm here now, but, so I'm here and I would love it if like Justin's out there to the fit today, making some calls, and he actually subscribed to a dialer, he's making cold calls. So, I think people just really they want to do it, but just really getting past that, getting through that first wall, right? Initially getting started. I mean, I just heard Liz saying, "Oh, I'm not really much of a cold caller." I don't think anybody. You rarely find people that love cold calling, right? Or door knocking. That's a really tough thing to do. It's a tough part, but I think as a group, it just makes it so much easier. So I'm here, I'm doing it, and anybody else, I mean, I'd love to just be part of that. Yeah, I'm in.
Gotcha. So we're all good on pushing the training, like literally training one-on-one and together forward. The biggest opportunity that I think we have is in growth. So the more agents we have out there, because not all agents are doing lead generation. I mean, I look at the top-down report. If we have 140 agents, 70 of them did 0. I mean, that's just across the board. Every office is the same. They probably have 50% of their roster don't do anything. So the 50% that's left, like if we want to grow that business and more of those people, I have to bring in 2 people to get 1 to produce. So what I'd like to do is like, if you guys could help in driving traffic to the office, especially getting bodies back in here is probably the most important, is the energy. So a lot of the agents I've talked to at our office said, "Hey, I left Cerritos and came to La Mirada because of the energy. And now that the energy is dying, or, COVID happened and there's people in the office, like, what am I doing with this energy? I came here for energy. I don't have it. So I need the energy to be led by the top 20%, which is you guys. And a lot of you have been doing this. I mean, I got Chris here every day now making calls, which is awesome. So Remo, you're in here quite often. I know Mark's got some things going on. Rick's laid up, but he's here pretty much every day. So if I can get commitments to actually be here and you guys are here, we're bringing in more top producing agents every single week. The more people we get into the office. So if you guys want to commit to helping me set appointments, like that would actually drive more opportunity for more off-market listings, the more people that are here, you know? So can you guys commit to like the people that you talk to out there, you know, spread the word about working with us and setting an appointment with me so I could meet with them? I mean, there's 6 or 7 of you guys. So if everyone's gets 2 people a month, not to join, but just to have an appointment with me, that's a bigger opportunity than I've ever had to drive more traffic to the market center. More agents means more transactions, which means more opportunity, more open houses, more door knocking, more off-market listings. It's a growth solves all problems. What do you think? Can I get a commitment for you guys to, you know, help me in that journey?
Are you are you cold calling agents?
I am, yeah,
You are?
I am.
All right. I mean, you have a commitment from me. Anybody I meet, I'll let them know, but it's so difficult to get people to even commit to even a meeting.
Yeah, so a lot of things that I use, and Adam has used it as well. It's like, hey, dude, this guy's pretty great. Like Tom Chavez, and Remo might know him. He's an independent broker. He's got a couple agents. He's in Whittier. He's a buyer side on one of our listings. He said, hey, he seems pretty energetic, pretty outgoing. He already has his brokerage. He has a couple agents. Let's sit down and have a conversation with him. So he talked to Tom and said, hey, Rob's going to give you a call. I called him. We had a great conversation. Obviously it's not the right time for him, so he didn't join us, although the conversation happened, which was pretty awesome. So a lot of people are receptive to getting more information and meeting more people, because obviously the more people they know, the more realtors they know, the bigger their network gets, the more opportunity they have to actually sell more real estate. So next time a listing comes up and it's a Keller Williams listing, I'm sure Tom's going to call me like, hey, Rob, do you know this guy? Can I get in? Or do you know this gal? Can we do a deal together? So the mere fact that I have him in my drip campaign now, and I'm going to continue following up with him, is a better opportunity than I've had before. So just setting up just laying it up for me, and whether I dunk it in or not's on me, but you guys, you know, have been doing your part to kind of, you know, lay them up, which I appreciate. But if we could do more layups, I could probably get more dunks. Basketball. So cultural events, and we only got a couple minutes here. We got about 5 or 6 more minutes before we break for like 10 minutes so I could do the team meeting. But cultural events right now, based on what you see in the market, what you see with the energy, with the agents, with COVID, what do you think would be the best cultural event within the next couple of weeks to be able to have to, you know, bring some people together without being a super spreader? I blew out the candles on my cupcakes. And I think Elizabeth had one.
No, I didn't have one.
Woo.
My daughter did.
Oh, huh.
My daughter.
Did she get COVID? Oh, good for her. Nice. So what are your thoughts around what we can do to bring some people together? I mean, we have team meetings every other week now. That'll bring more people together. We have food.
I think at the very, if you want to consider safety and people feeling comfortable, it's got to be outdoors, right? Some kind of event outdoors. Is that weird?
Yeah, so it should be an event, or because if we do this training like we say we're going to do, it should create a buzz where people are going to want to come to get some business because they don't have any, right? They want to be able to get the calls, do the joining.
Just like an event for culture for us to.
Well, culture is a lot of things. We want to build a culture of productivity, you know, productivity enriched environment where when they come to the office, they're going to be productive, which is awesome. That's a type of culture. The other type of culture is like bonding personally together inside and outside of the office. So I would like to do at least one outside type of event where agents can get together and just, you know, build better relationships together. What do you think something we could do in the next couple of weeks before family reunion, which is in 4 weeks, to be able to, you know, connect some people together, whether it be a mixer, outdoors? I mean, something I could do. What do you think? Tom, you were gonna.
I said sorry, I was muted. I said without being a super spreader event.
Yeah.
Depends if anyone's blowing out candles.
Just,
I definitely think it's needed, and I definitely encourage it, but I also want to be sensitive to the timing of those getting ill and this whole super spreader thing. So it's kind of a double-edged sword on that one. So I don't know. What's some of your other thoughts?
So here are the things that we did, like during when it peaked, I think in October, November last year. We did Kazam or Kazoo or one of those online kind of games where, you know, everyone's on and you answer a question and it says, I don't know, who was the first president, right? And it gives 4 answers, and then every couple seconds, answer is removed and whoever gets the most points, we gave away prizes. So it's almost like a happy hour from your computer where there's games and prizes and stuff to be won. I don't know, and it's something along that line where we have a cocktail at our own houses together. I know it's kind of stupid and weird, but.
Well, so is that maybe in the evening, you can have your families
Yeah.
too?
Correct, yeah, it's maybe 7 p.m., 8 p.m. where you get your favorite beverage and you just kind of hang out and you play a online, you know, whatever game. Again, it's driven by prizes. You have the vendors and maybe it's whatever, $10 gift cards, $20 gift cards, something, you know, free printing for a week. I don't know, whatever it might be as prizes. And, you know, you just get people on the screen together. And if anything, we could just feel a little bit more connected virtually for the next couple of weeks, right? I think, you know, as things slow down, hopefully sooner than later, then we can open up to just something outdoors at a park or.
Okay, so we'll do that in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Like I'll get that going right away. We only have a couple minutes left here. The award ceremony. So our 2021 awards is going to be on March 3rd, which is in, I don't know, what's that, 6 weeks, 7 weeks? Something like that. We're most likely going to have it at, I don't see Lily here. I think we're going to have it at the La Mirada Golf Course at their banquet hall. It's actually really nice. So we'll start putting that together right away. So who's ever on the culture committee, which is everybody.
Is it a shared event, Rob? I know we talked about.
It is a shared event with Cerritos.
Okay.
So we'll be doing it together with them. You know, obviously bring your +1, have a great evening, you know, drinks, food. It should be extremely nice, celebrating each other. So it'd be a celebration of 2021 and then obviously getting together to get excited about what we could do in 2022. Should be pretty awesome. So I kind of pushed it out a little bit further because I know COVID's been going on. So we kind of pushed it out to the 3rd and we've been looking at different locations and stuff. So I think we kind of narrowed it down last week and start pushing that forward. So that should be super exciting.
Rob, repeat the date again. Do you say March 3rd?
Yeah, it should be Thursday, March 3rd.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
do we need a blind event? Do we need to cross-check any planning or anything with Cerritos on this?
Yeah, they'll do what we say. They'll do what we want. I'm working with them on it, so it's cool. But anyhow, let's move on real quick because we only have a minute. Commercial. So I know we're looking to get more commercial business in here. I'm working with Chris and Alex Fig on building more of like type of Marcus and Millichap commercial division where you have juniors and seniors, and it's more like creating a call center on your team. And driving more commercial agents, and then obviously teaching how to identify commercial opportunities. So what I'd like to do is get all the agents educated on what to hear and what some of these numbers are and what to say. So when they hear an opportunity when it comes to commercial, even though they might not want to work it, like I don't want to work commercial deals, I'll just work them with Chris, right? So we're going to put something together where it's like with Chris on how to identify commercial opportunities and then what to do with them when you get them, you know, and then you can either partner with them or just turn it over for a referral fee. You know, for example, Alex Fig I think he put, I don't know, $7 or $8, $9 million into escrow just in the last week. So, you know, his volume should be huge. His dollar amount should be huge. You know, it was $100,000 per transaction. So he made 300 G's in the last week. So those will all close in February. Stuff like that. Like, how do you identify opportunities? And then who do I partner with when I hear something happening? So every opportunity that pops up in real estate, we should be capitalizing on at least to partner with somebody to get it done or do it ourselves. Thursday, I'm having a meeting with the region. They're launching their new homes division. I have a lot of questions around that on how to get the home builders to work directly with you and what that looks like. So I'll fill you in on the next meeting with all the questions, because I had a lot of questions around it, because that's something I've always wanted to do, is work with home builders. So we'll see what that looks like. And then also there is an a la carte service that Gary Keller just bought from a Keller Williams agent called C Pros. I'm working with them as well to possibly bring them in-house, and what those services entailed. So I'm still getting more information about that. And then when I have it all, I'll bring it to you, and then you guys let me know whether you think that's a good idea or not a good idea. So let me get all the information, bring it to you. And then hopefully by the next meeting, I'll have all that. And then you guys can decide whether that's something you want in your market center and in your business, or you don't. But I don't have all the information yet, but I'm working on those. And that was it. You guys have something for me? Remo, you're on mute if you're talking.
I am. I said regarding the commercial class, I know we've mentioned it a couple times over the last 2-3 meetings, maybe even 4. Can we just pick a date and put it on the calendar and just at least get one going, and we could do a ongoing weekly, monthly, whatever frequency we want?
Gotcha.
We selected February as the month.
We're doing
I'll put it on the calendar for February, and Chris will be teaching it. And then we'll put some panels together too with some other commercial agents where people can get some information, ask them questions, and then I'll put some weekly stuff together. Like, well, Alex is committed to teaching a class, every week or so about just a different topic of commercial, like how to do a lot of the math on some of the multi-units or something, or how to identify a cap rate, or what is a cap rate. Let's do a 30-minute class real quick on that.
That's in my class.
That's in Chris's class. So, okay.
What day is that?
What's that?
What day is Chris's class?
After Super Bowl.
He said after we come back from family reunion.
We keep saying class, but we don't have no date.
We need to nail down these dates, even if they're
Yeah.
just having a conversation like this and not scripted. We need to nail down the calendar with trainings that are not the same trainings every single week that are poorly attended.
I'll have the class scheduled date today, and I'll text you.
Remo,
Yeah.
what day do you feel that's the best day, during the week for a class? Would that be like a Wednesday, like the middle of the week, so that you can take that on for Thursday, Friday, or is it like a
Midweek is always a good time. I think Thursday,
Tuesday or Wednesday.
doing our classes every evening on Wednesdays, whatever class that is,
or late afternoon.
late afternoon?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we pick Wednesdays to be our whatever class is going to be? It's every Wednesday afternoon.
Well, Wednesdays we have team meetings on every other Wednesday, pretty much.
Well, at 12.
Good after.
Yeah.
12 to 1, and then after what happened, 2 to 3.
We get more.
Okay.
Or if you want to eat, the food will be after the class.
Okay. We'll get that on the schedule today, and then I'll text you guys what that looks like. Is that cool?
Yeah, and then most people show up. We have more of a crowded house on Wednesdays anyway, so that people stick around for the class. People, they kind of free up their day.
Gotcha. I'm going to do some things next Friday. I'm going to have something with Oscar about how to identify investment properties and the type of financing you could use and do to actually get these properties or partner with him. And then this Friday, I think I'm going to go pop by a flip and see if I can get some agents to join me on a flip. Who's ever haven't done a flip before, understanding what the entry point was, the type of financing, watching the demo, and then going back and seeing, midway, and then going back and seeing the finished product, and actually doing that live at the house. So it's in LA on Van Nuys. So we're doing it in the middle of a flip right now, just on the demo side. So I'm going to go there on Friday and see if I could put a series together with driving agents outside of the office and meeting out in the field. Remo mentioned he'll kind of help me with that as well on some of his ADUs, and start putting some live outdoor at the property training classes together to make it a little more exciting than sitting in a classroom. Gotcha. We got a team meeting in 7 minutes. So I gotta let you guys go and,
So it's every Wednesday, the class?
yeah,
Okay, I'll pick the week of the 14th.
the week of the 14th.
Yeah. Everybody should pick a date then.
So that'll be the 16th.
Yeah, the 16th. You want the 11th, Richard?
What?
Whatever,
That's a Friday.
the following, the previous Wednesday.
Previous one.
We're doing every Wednesday, right?
Would be the 9th.
The 9th, sorry. Yeah, with Mets.
Gotcha. Well, let me let you guys go. I'll put, oh, did we already go?
No, we're here. Is there gonna be a different link for the team meeting?
No.
What's the link that we sent out?
And we're chilling. I'm chilling.
Okay, cool. Well, let me go ahead and, cause I played off my cell phone, so let me go ahead and get that rocking and
Yeah,
rolling.
do your thing. We can
Okay.
conversate in here.
Oh, come on in.
We're finishing our.
They're good. No, come on in. We're done.
So the Wednesday,
It's the same, it's gonna be the same link. so-
Wednesday evening is starting.
Oh, Jenny, hey.
Or starts in February.
Yeah, February the 16th. That's the ALC meeting date. So we have a team meeting on the 16th.
Every other week, so.
5 minutes. Not gonna prep for that, but you can come in, have a seat, get something to drink.
Rob, is everything gonna?
12 in like 6 minutes?
Rob, am I running the slides on your computer?
Yes, yes, you are.
Send me a video, you need that video on there.
The video should be on here, yeah.
It's already ready to go?
It should be,
What time
yeah,
is the team meeting at?
at 1
1? Okay.
with some
Can
lunch.
I do a class at 1:30 then?